In this interview, you will hear from a Clearwater police officer. Welcome to the program, Officer Fidel.
Thank you.
And what is a police officer's main job?
The main job of a police officer is to protect persons and property and to enforce the laws.
And what is a crime? And what are some examples of common crimes?
Crime is a violation of the law. An example of a crime is a simple battery, where if someone is walking down the street and a person hits another person with their hand or their fist or pushes them, and that other person did not want to be touched or hit, that is a crime. Then usually the police will be called out and a report will be taken, an arrest could be made. Another example of a crime is a robbery. If you have property, let's say a wallet or money on your person, and someone comes up and takes it from you, either by force or intimidation, if they also point a gun at you, something like that, that is also a crime. Also an example of a minor crime is if you get pulled over by the police in a traffic stop and a police officer gives you a citation and you do not sign that citation, that is also a crime.
And how can we protect ourselves from robbers?
A good way is to always watch your surroundings. I'm not saying to always be worried about being robbed. I don't think that that's a common thing, but in order to prevent robberies, I would suggest walking in lighted streets, maybe traveling by bus or another kind of transportation if you can. If you see any person that's suspicious near you, try to move away in a place where there's more people. If there's more people around, it's less likely you're going to be robbed or any other crimes going to occur. But basically that's it. If you have, also don't carry a large amount of cash on you is really a good way, because then if people don't think people have cash on them, likelihood of being robbed is going to be minimal.
Do all police officers wear uniforms?
No. Most patrol officers, which is the one driving the vehicles marked, do have uniforms. But we also have undercover officers. We have officers that wear regular clothing like everyone else. Sometimes they don't shave, sometimes they do. They wear baseball hats, things like that. Sometimes they work in that capacity, an undercover capacity, investigating different kind of crimes. We have officers also that wear suit and tie, which are also called detectives most of the time. But officers can come in every kind of uniform. They can have the regular patrol uniform, or they can be in plain clothing.
Do all police officers carry a badge?
If an officer is in the capacity of his employment, if he is working, he is supposed to carry a badge. I do. I always carry a badge on me in case I have to respond to something, even if I'm not on duty. Also, again, to enforce the law and protect person and property. But yes, if an officer is going to act as a law enforcement officer, he must identify himself in that way, and normally with a badge and identification with a photo usually is the best way.
What are gangs, and how can I tell if my child has joined a gang?
A gang is an organization that consists of 3 or more persons that are wearing the same colors and also committing crimes together. That's what's important. It's not just a bunch of kids. Let's say that a bunch of kids are wearing a red shirt one day. That doesn't make them a gang. What makes them a gang is the fact that they are a group of people that are committing crime together. For example, a group that does burglaries, they do it together, they profit from that burglary together, and they usually organize that crime together. For a parent or anyone to suspect that their child is in a gang, usually if they're suspecting their child is in a gang, usually they are. But indicators are a lot of runaways. Kids are running away. If you see them hanging out with the same group of people every day and they're wearing maybe a bandana, maybe they got a tattoo that indicates a gang affiliation. There are multiple gangs. A lot of different behaviors. Your child just all of a sudden changes his behaviors from being maybe a nice kid to maybe more violent. That's another indicator also. Skipping school, things like that. But when you start seeing your child wearing the same color shirt or something with that same color every day and all his friends are, I would start investigating that closely. And obviously, you can always call law enforcement and we'll help assist you with that, even if identifying or trying to deter the child from entering into the gang life.
Does every city in Pinellas County have the same laws?
No, not every city has the same laws. Some cities have ordinances, which an example is in some cities you cannot drink an open container of alcohol in the street in public, and other cities will allow you to do that. We all have the same federal and state laws, but not every city has the same law for minor things.
Can a person be arrested for not speaking English?
Not in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, there's no such law that states you must speak English, and that is the law. I can give you an example of that. When I first came to Florida, I did not speak English. I was in the ESOL system also, and obviously I've learned through the ESOL and through hard work to speak the language. But it would have been very disheartening if I would have came here to Florida and been arrested for not speaking English at that time.
Well, our time is up for today, Officer Fidelis. Thank you for helping us understand what police do to help us and how we can help you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.